When I say stupid, you say show. Stupid. Stupid. I lost my train of thought. Hey YouTube, welcome back to SIBZ, West Coast, East Coast Siblings, where we review your favorite movies and TV shows. And tonight, we're on She-Hulk episode 6. If you're new to the channel, like this video if you like this video, subscribe, and please click the bell so you can be notified when we drop reviews of new movies and TV shows. Sorry, I'm totally distracted because this, once again, was an awful episode. Oh my goodness, and I have my glasses on, in case you didn't know I wear glasses. I will take them off because I feel like the glare is a little too hard. Okay guys, I'm just going to spoil this because honestly, if you really care about spoilers, you wouldn't be watching this show. So I'm just going to give you an entire breakdown of what happened, and yeah, we'll just go from there. Whew. Basically, Jen gets invited to be a bridesmaid for a wedding, and she goes expecting to be She-Hulk, and then she gets there and the bride wants her to just be Jen because if she's She-Hulk, she'll be distracting and take away from her wedding. Fine, sure, actually probably true. Titania shows up, and you know, Titania's like, oh, I'm not here to be a problem, I'm just here to be a guest. And then of course Jen's like, no, you're not. And then of course Titania's like, you're right, I'm not. Basically, Titania wants to fight her. I had to rewatch the scene twice because I really didn't understand why, but what I gathered was that Titania's jealous of She-Hulk because of her influence and maybe because other people like her. I don't really understand. Titania is supposed to be this like social media influencer mogul gal, so I don't get it. But anyway, she starts a fight, wants Jen to turn, and she turns, they fight. Jen beats the crap out of her, and she runs home with a birthday cake. Also, while Jen's there, she meets a guy, Josh, who seems to like her for her and not for She-Hulk. And that really warms Jen's insides. Subplot is that Mallory, who's played by Renee Goldsberg, is representing a client, Mr. Invincible, Mr. Inevitable, Mr. Immortal. Mr. Immortal. Basically, he can't die. And the way he gets out of his multiple marriages is by killing himself. And so he's got a bunch of women and one man trying to divorce him. And Mallory and the little sidekick that is usually Jen's little quirky sidekick is now Mallory's quirky sidekick for this episode. And they defend him in this case. Once again, really stupid. I think it's a really cheap, sucky thing to do to kind of build us up like, oh, Daredevil's coming, and then be like, nah, just kidding, he's not coming this week though. Let's be honest, at this point, Daredevil is not going to show up until the very last episode, and I would not put it past Disney and Marvel to put him in the last 30 seconds of the post-credit scene in the last episode of She-Hulk. Just saying, just saying. I mean, we know that's not true because we've seen some snippets of him and, you know, interacting with her. But at this point, I'm just so disappointed and disgusted and disturbed. So, I mean, you know, whatever. So a couple things I noticed in this episode that sucked. One, this episode, though it sucked 90% of the time, 10% of it had a plot, which is very interesting. I noticed at the beginning of the episode, they didn't let us skip through the recap like they normally do. They made us watch it. And what was the main line through the recap? That Bruce was doing something with Jen's blood, and that Jen's blood was valuable, and that some, you know, the gangsters on the street who attacked her was trying to get her blood, but they couldn't get it. And so then, at the end of this episode, we see that, wow, I don't even remember, like, how the dots connected there, but basically somebody in a lab somewhere is spying on Jennifer and trying to get her blood, and they got some kind of serum that they're trying to inject into her. Oh, I don't know what they're trying to inject into her. Maybe they're trying to kill her. I don't really know. But at least that's some kind of plot. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I kind of got some WandaVision vibes. Like, oh snap, there's some spying, there's some plot, there's some intricacy maybe happening. Like, this entire season sucks. But that little bit of a plot line is just enough to keep you sticking around, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm a sucker for it, I'll be honest. I also thought it was kind of weird in this episode how, like, Jennifer, oh, I'm like really close to the camera. Hello, oh goodness, no one needs me to be that close. I'll stand back here. Vanity, Lord help me. Jen's one direct address in this episode is basically, she's saying, yes, the entire episode is going to be about a wedding. Why? Because weddings show up at inconvenient times. So this episode is going to be inconvenient and stupid. And it's like, it's not tongue-in-cheek for you to acknowledge that what's happening is stupid and pointless, because it is stupid and pointless. It would be funny if it were ironic, but it's not ironic, it's just sad. It's just sad. It was very on the nose, but it still sucked. Also, I forgot that little homegirl. I have no idea what this girl's name is, but the plucky side chick gal. That one, in the red. Her. She and Mallory, homegirl, actually find out that someone is saying bad things about Jen on the internet, which is like, okay, she's a celebrity. But, you know, she's really threatened, and they go out of their way to make as much subtext as possible to let you know that the people who are out to kill Jen are angry man babies, because men are evil and they hate them, and there's absolutely no benefit that men offer to society. I just can't. Also, just want to say, Renee Goldsberry is the absolute best thing about this show. She's just classy, she's funny, she's likable, she's just great. She's great, and I'm not being biased or anything. I can acknowledge that Tatiana is a great actress, hands down. I think the writing just sucks, you know, the structure of the story sucks. Like, the story's not great, but at least the two of them, they're good female actresses, and I think Renee is doing a far better job. Anyway, yeah, I mean, she's my favorite thing about the show, and it's really nice to have her in 2 episodes back to back, like taking up space. I'm really, really enjoying her performance, because the rest of the show is a nightmare. Oh, I also thought it was really, really funny how Homegirl in the red blazer and Mallory, they start flipping out about Mr. Immortal and how what he's doing is wrong, how he's a terrible person for killing himself to get out of these marriages, and he gets so annoyed with talking to him, he decides to jump out of a window. And I was like, wow, that's crazy, because that's exactly how I feel watching this episode. So last thing I'm going to talk about in this episode is the CGI. Is the VFX. It's the CGI. I don't know. I should know. I work in VFX. It's just bad. It's bad. And I think what makes it really stark is that the scenes where She-Hulk is interacting with other like normal sized humans, the proportions are off and the eye lines are off. And it's just distractingly bad. The whole scene where Jen comes up as She-Hulk in her new dress or whatever, and she's talking to the other bridesmaids, and you have She-Hulk existing in one frame and then all of the bridesmaids, like everyone, in the opposite frame, and it's just really jarring. It doesn't make you think she's in the world. Also, did anybody else catch those really bad effects where when Titania kicks her in the face and she flies back? That skirt, that dress, that roll, that was all really bad. But I have heard some things that Marvel started running out of money on the back end of these episodes, and so the visual effects just kind of start to fall apart or cheapen. I don't know if that's true, but that's just what people be saying on the street, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. As always, like it if you like it. Comment, please. Let me know what you think. I'm really, really enjoying chatting it up with you guys in the comment section. And subscribe. All of your subscriptions, your consistency makes it possible for us to do what we do. I don't know what I was doing. I'm so sorry. That's so awkward. You know what it is? It's late at night and I'm getting a little wild and I have not slept in a few hours. So there's that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye.